It is time for some writing. I have two assignments for you this week. One is really a lot of fun and just to capture what's going on in our crazy world right now. So I mentioned in our weekly message that you're going to be doing a time capsule. I did put it on, I don't know if you can see this. I did put it on, it's on your Google Classroom, but it says time capsule and it's a letter to your parents, a letter to myself, how you're feeling, all about me. I tried to put it in a Google Doc and it completely changed the format. So I had to send it as a PDF. Your parents can print it off and then you can work on it, shoot me a copy of it, and I'll be able to see it. But it's something that you can keep forever, give to your parents, and remember. So it says, you are living through history right now. Take a moment to fill in these pages for your future self to look back on. And here are some other ideas of things to include. So some photos from this time, a journal of your days, what it's like where you're at, things you're doing to be busy. And then it says, it has a misprint on the last page. It says our handprints. It says print the hands, but you can paint them. So paint somebody's hands or trace them. And then you can, like I said, keep this forever. So that is your first assignment. It's just meant to be fun. It's a lot of reading and writing, and give it to a grown-up so that way you can have this forever. This will be in history books. As like I said earlier, it's really unprecedented, which means it's hasn't happened in a long time, over 100 years, 1918, and it's 2020. So it's 102 years ago, Spanish flu. Your second assignment is to compare and contrast. So this ties into what we did last week. It ties into the time capsule. So you're going to compare and contrast life before COVID-19 and life after. So I have one circle that's pre, which means before, and then I have one that means post, and that means after. So things that are the same go in this little piece right here where they overlap. I like to think of this as like red and this is blue paint, and they overlap here. It has both red and blue. They both have them in common. So things in common, school, friends, you get to see your family. You probably get to watch TV, video games. Post, streets are bare. You probably see people with masks. You have to stay home. School, at home. And then what I try to do is I try to look at what post is and then flip it. So do the opposite. So pre would be streets are bare. Well, people are outside and there's people and cars out. Masks, there's no masks. You can go out. You can leave your home. School at Sage. You could even go into it a little bit further, even if you wanted to. But this, again, is a Venn diagram, VENN, a Venn diagram, and it just kind of gets your brain getting ready for that writing. So you can do a Venn diagram, and then you can start writing. You're going to write it in a Google Doc and then send it to me, and I will review it. I want a lot of detail. I want boring font. I want name, date, title, and then indentation on that first paragraph. Paragraph is 3 to 5 sentences. So that's what I'm looking for. We should really have the format down at this point. And I want bold, boring font, like I said, nothing too crazy, but I do want to know in a lot of detail what life is like before and after. How has this changed your life? Because it's probably changed it a lot more than you realize, or maybe you do realize it, and it's good to talk about it and get it out. So keep those in mind, all those things that I'm looking for. Bonus points for capital letters, punctuation, things we remember in our DLI, which is you can't say you have to stay at home, and you can bare streets, and those ands get replaced with commas if you remember, until the last one. And then you're going to list it out. So don't forget your DLI. To remember what happens when you list an item, you wrap quotation marks. So you could maybe even say something funny that has happened or people have said. You can get bonus points for that too. So that is your writing. I hope it all makes sense. Bye, guys.